the Cavinder Twins, and the reason I guess we're talking about them today is twofold. One, they announced the other day, and if you don't know who the Cavinder Twins are, 4.5 million on TikTok. They're twins who were at Fresno State now, or I guess as of a month ago, played at Miami, University of Miami. Social media stars, really good basketball players, but they announced earlier this week they're done with basketball. And I forget which one it was, but one kind of wanted to play. The other one says, I'm done. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, well, she wasn't hard, like if she really wanted to, but she was like, man, I don't want to play if she ain't playing.
Got it.
And then today they were on the Today Show, which as we were texting through, I always find it weird when a 22 or 3, whatever they are, year old is on the Today Show. I feel like there's a better use of time. There's more things that fit the culture of a 22-year-old that could get more views and be more beneficial than a, I didn't see the full convo, but usually those convos are like 7-minute cringe fests. All I saw was the 15-second clip that we posted on Sports Biz Network about it. But basically they were asked, like, WWE, what do you guys think of that? And they have an NIL deal with WWE. They were a part of the first class. We had 2 athletes, Lexi Gordon, who was at Duke at the time, and then our guy John Seaton, who's at Elon still in the WWE class. So we got a little bit of insight of how those work. And basically, I don't know exactly what their plans are moving forward, obviously, but what they do is they try to ingrain you in the WWE culture. They take you to events and they want you to try out, is the general kind of outline of how they do that. And asked them the question, they said, we love the WWE. We'll see what happens. So they got a lot of buzz. Somebody said they're head of the WWE. And then somebody who works with them and says, that's not what they said, but didn't say they're not going to the WWE. And I think in general that the Cavinder Twins are what's great about NIL.
Yes.
They were great on social media, are great on social media. I'll run through kind of some numbers here. So they were, according to Sponsor United, they were the 8th most, had the 8th most deals of any athletes. Although everyone else was singular athletes, they were obviously, everything they do is together. So they were 8th as far as number of deals with 16. And that was from about 8 weeks ago at this point, but that counts last year. Some of those are the WWE, Boost Mobile. I remember they flew to New York City.
First one on July 1st, right?
That was their whole thing, was the first one. I heard that was a $50K kind of deal. I can't confirm that, but I've seen stuff like that. I've heard they will make well over $1 million. I assume that was each when I've seen those numbers. They just did something recently with Cactus AI and Cigarette Racing. They had the Life Wallet with John Ruiz, which cost some NCAA infractions, not to them, but to their coach and to the team. It was like a $5,000 fine. They lost a little bit of recruiting days. I think it was 3 days or something like that. And then their head coach got suspended a couple of games too. Really just water under the bridge for them. Didn't matter. Didn't do anything.
But as you've coached college football, when they give those slap on the wrist, 3 days less in recruit, does that matter? Those 3 days, those 5 days, the week, does that really matter?
No, it doesn't. And especially in basketball where your numbers are smaller, you don't want it to happen because it doesn't look great, I don't think. And basically why the infractions came where the coach had allegedly connected the player to someone for an NIL deal, John Ruiz. And that's the direct connection is what led to the issue. I mean, it was whatever, it didn't matter. But they are, again, what's great about NIL. They would, if they didn't play basketball, they would have had a similar following. They would have got a bunch of deals, but the crossover opportunities, and we know there's people that reach out specifically. I'm looking for a college athlete NIL deal, or I'm looking for this type of person in this type of area that is a college athlete. There's more of that because of them having a big following and them playing basketball. Will opportunities go away because they're not playing anymore? It'll be different ones in some cases, and it'll be similar ones. But I think without a doubt, them playing basketball, playing college basketball, playing in the ACC, help build their business long term, as opposed to if they didn't play basketball at all and were just really good on social media.
There's plenty of twins that are on social media, right? that don't play college basketball, don't have the
Yeah,
hype.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but of course they're good at social. And I'm saying like there's people that have 4.5 million followers on TikTok that aren't good at sports, or like they can commentate on sports or have like a comment, not commentate, but like, like have a take on sports, but aren't them. They happen to be happened to be pretty good at their sport. And again, they had this crossover into sports. They were one of the biggest names in college sports. If they were just one of the, 4.5 million on TikTok is like a good following and very good for business, but you just get lost in the mix, right? Of course, they're twins and they stand out, and there's certain things they do that people love, but they have this crossover ability that has no doubt helped their business. And again, this is why we love NIL, is because this has helped set them up for business after. They could still play basketball. They've got a 5th year. They could take their COVID year, but they don't want to, because they want to get away from the books and the BS and just build business. And this is what we love about NIL, is have people who are really good college players who aren't going to make a bunch of money at pros, but are going to continue to grow their biz and kill it. And I believe they're up, like, I want to say when they started this, they were at like 1.4 million, like when NIL opened up. Right. So they've continued to grow so much, and hopefully they continue to build their business and be millionaires.
Can they, let's say they take this year off, what's the time stamp on it? Take the year off basketball to come back and finish that.
I don't know how a COVID year works. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea.
Interesting if they're like, hey, we're done, and they do the comeback tour type of thing.
I mean, how it is when you get done with school. Why the hell you go back to school? Like,
right.
School. Nobody loves studying for tests.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're a millionaire, like people like is rumored, why would you do that?
Right. I think that in addition to the NIL, like this is like they're a perfect use case, right, of NIL, not the elite athlete have opportunities.
But very good,
Right. But the reason I think that I got Kata yelling in the background distracting me. The reason I think that this is a great move for the WWE is it fits their pillar, right? It's like it's a bucket of like, hey, this already worked, right? They had the Bella Twins that were successful. Who went on to have a TV show, and I didn't watch the show. I don't know exactly if it intertwined with them being on WWE or if it was post, like, hey, we're retired now. Here's our second chapter of our professional careers. I'm not really sure, but I know they had 6 seasons there. And doing a quick search recently, they're worth 20 million plus. So you find similar characteristics, right? Put them into a bucket. This already worked for the WWE. WWE can do that with the Twins. They can do it with someone who's like a John Seaton, who was a former college athlete, someone who was like a Brock Lesnar, who was a former college athlete. Find those guys and gals to, I know you don't like gals, find them who fit those different personalities, those different roles, and just utilize NIL to start working with them when they're 18, 19, 20 years old, as opposed to 25 years old.
Well, I mean, like you look at the top people in the sport, like they're all not all of them, but a lot of them are former college athletes. Obviously they're athletic. Obviously they're good looking. Those are 2 things that help in the WWE. They have good personalities. There's number 3. Can they wrestle, or like, is there just something else they're potentially doing? Not being in-ring talent. Are they going to do stuff that's going to be different? Or I know, the whole, we talked about this last week, is the WWE and UFC combined company. Like, maybe there's a whole nother thing they're doing here that we don't even think of or know that's going to happen. So who knows? And, they said, yeah, we're excited to do some stuff, but they didn't say what it was. That could have even just been like, hey, we're excited to try out and then get the hell out too. Like this might mean nothing.
Yeah. It could very much so be someone who was doing the interview or someone who heard it, didn't know they already had a relationship with WWE, and they mentioned WWE and they're like, oh, they're doing something with WWE.
It sounded like, well, I don't know if he did or not. I saw the first person that reported like, hey, they're headed to WWE. And then I saw people underneath being like, hey, they already have an NIL deal. I don't like kind of what you just said. And he was like, they didn't say it sounds like they were. And it did kind of sound like, hey, we're looking to continue this relationship kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens.